Hello, hello. Good night, dear group. For I think maybe two or 3 weeks we didn't have this time. The Thursday with the expert. I have here a Nicolas. He's sitting. He want to be part. I will wait little bit. Maybe we can give little time to the parents can join little bit. Yes, wait little bit. Parents join. Mhm. Key to success for parents. Stop chain and killed. Mhm. Mhm. Wait minutes and done. Okay. 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 Good evening. Today is Thursday. Thursday, the experts here in your group, Expat Kids in Eindhoven group. I want to welcome you and thank you for joining us. Every day, I am working to bring you interesting topics and great guests who teach us in this care of parenting. Tonight, we have something very special, and sometimes people doesn't like to speak about this. And I want to say parental responsibility, guilt. Parents feel guilty because they are responsible for the safety of their young children. But instead of letting the guilt completely overcome them, it is better to focus on the solution and learn from the experience. Many parents feel guilty about the time or money they cannot spend on their children because of work or other pressures. Thinking about this situation and how to face it and help parents with a solution to the guilt they often feel. Tonight, Spot Kids in Eindhoven bring to you one special topic and one special guest. Our guest is Lois Hollis. She's a specialist in most forbidden subjects, shame and guilt. Her passion is to show the way to love ourselves and our families by alleviating the suffering of shame guilt. She will share her 15 years of experience as a shame guilt educator, counselor, to give us an effective, lasting way to health, wellness, and spiritual maturity. Lois comes to us with a lifelong background in health. She is a filmmaker and the author of the 3 books and a video on Soulspeaks, an original process that brings peace to our inner personalities. Her new book, Now is the Time, contains her light language reading direct from her soul, which expands our spiritual development. Her new film, I Am Good, illustrates shame, guilt, trigger. I want to say tonight, welcome at this Thursday with the expert, our guest, Lois Hollis.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's an honor to be with
Thank
parents and children. It's a true honor because there's no more special gift to our world than our children.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Well, I know that you are very busy. You have a lot of things, but we are so happy that you are here tonight.
Thank you. Uh,
Yeah.
thank you. I want to uh, tell everyone that the reason that I chose shame guilt as a topic is because it's in everything. It's in government, it's religion, and it's in our lives. But we're not supposed to talk about it, which makes it very dangerous. And I want to illustrate what shame guilt really is.
Mm.
Contrary to what is out there now, what 100% of the population feel shame. I say shame guilt, and I'll explain to you why I do not separate the two. Shame guilt is an energy. It is not an emotion. We all know how love feels. Love is a positive feeling. How do you, oh, your children, you love them. My goodness, we love joy, be happy. We jump rope, we swim. You know, it's love. And love, what does love bring? Gratitude and happiness, confidence. Don't question yourself. It's we're all that is all a down product of love. And what is love? Love's a positive feeling. However, we have a negative energy upon us. That negative energy is shame guilt. It's an energy placed upon humanity. It's a long story. Love is placed upon us, and shame guilt was placed upon us. But no one calls it as a negative energy. The shame guilt energy is negative and disruptive. You know how your kids get disruptive? What happens? There's chaos. And I have 3 girls. I understand chaos, especially making a cake or something in the kitchen. Anyway, shame guilt is a disruptive energy, but we can call it negative. What it does is it changes our positive love into negative feelings. Our compassion, which we have, turns to depression. Our intuition that we so value turns to anxiety. Our passion turns to anger. Do you see where I'm going with this? We already are loving, beautiful human beings, but shame guilt energy comes in like a computer virus. What happens when your virus hits your computer?
Destroyed all the files, no?
It's a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah.
And, you know, nothing works in the Microsoft Office, Word, and I don't even have to explain it. Everybody has had a virus attack on their computer. Well, that's what shame guilt energy does to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope with this information, you're going to understand how it's outside of us. It's not inside of us. We don't need it. I'm changing your perspective on this. It's not internal, it's external. It's an energy force that comes into us, changes our emotions that are positive to negative, and it changes our physical structure as well. Our stomach doesn't work as well, our liver doesn't work as well. We become predisposed to disease. I'm not getting into details here because I really want to cover a lot of situations. Now, why do I call it shame guilt?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting because we are split. And if you can't get a hold on shame and guilt, I'm telling you why. It's so confused and messed up. We can't figure out how to fix it. So we become more guilty because we don't know how to fix it. It's a self-defeating process. And the more we try to fix it, the more guilty we feel. It's kind of like, are you kidding me? So that's what I'm setting it straight, and reason why we have not been able to fix it since Adam and Eve. That's a long time. I am a nurse in the medical field for a very long time. If a person has a bacteria or a virus in their brain, it's called meningitis. If they have the same bacteria or virus in their stomach, they call it gastritis. If they have the same bacteria in their lungs, they call it pneumonia. If the same bacteria is in their liver, they call it hepatitis. Do you see where I'm going with this? It doesn't matter the root cause. They just give it a different name to it. Okay? That's how the world works. But it's very confusing. Oh, you got pneumonia. Oh, you got hepatitis. But it's the same cause, which helps someone to organize. Oh, it doesn't spin you out. Now, shame is in the unconscious mind. That's why we don't know about it. That's why we don't think about it. That's why we don't want to know, because it's unconscious, deep-seated experiences in our life. We didn't get a date when we were younger. We didn't get a lollipop, or, it doesn't matter. The teacher hollered at us. There's always an issue. And that's deep-seated within our unconscious. Now, guilt is in the conscious mind, and we all know about guilt. I'm guilty for this. I should have done that. I could have done that. Why didn't I do this? We continually guilt ourselves. Everybody does it. You can't say you don't, because everybody does. It's the way our culture is. So I'm saying to you that shame, guilt is the same energy. It's just that it's in different locations of the body. Does that help? Does that help to make it more solidified?
Yes, maybe I understood, and I think also the parents they are connecting. They also understand this relation with the same bacteria with different name, but how connecting this with the shame? O sea,
Okay. Yeah,
yes.
I'll explain that. Please interrupt me, because everyone
Okay.
has a different approach and a different understanding, because it's so misunderstood. Everybody has taken on their own thoughts of what it is. So we are told, I believe in most cultures, that shame is bad and guilt is good, because we need guilt to be moral.
Okay.
But that is not true. I came on your show not because I'd feel guilty if I didn't, because I love kids and I love to help them. I'm asking humanity to go above guilt. You're doing it because you want to do it. And if you didn't do it, you just didn't do it because it wasn't part of what you wanted to do. But we are so brainwashed to feel guilt that we automatically feel guilt.
Okay.
Okay? Shame, guilt, energy was put upon humanity. Humanity does not have a biological resonance with it. It's not it's not part of being human. It's common, but it's not normal. Okay? It's an outside energy placed upon humanity to control us. And it does, doesn't it? Oh, I'm afraid of doing this. I'm afraid of doing that. I shouldn't do that. It controls us. And maybe at one point we needed it, but we don't need it now, because it consumes us. And what does it do? It stops us from living our lives. So shame, guilt is not needed for us, humanity. We are good inside of us, and we don't need to feel guilty to be moral. We are moral. We are good. That's why my new film is called I'm Good. I'm good. I'm just good. Now, what questions would you have around that?
In this moment, the parents didn't write until now any question. Yes, you can maybe
Okay.
continue.
Okay, I can continue. Okay, so we as a human race have been taught to use shame guilt behaviors, but we don't even know it's shame guilt.
Mm.
So that's why I call myself an educator, because I'm educating people what is normal behavior, or let's say non-shame guilt behavior. For an example, I spend time with my grandsons, and I'm so grateful to have that experience. And we're talking like a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, something like that, and they're putting their shoes on, and you know how they put them on the wrong side, and the left on the right, and the right on the left, and instead of saying, "Oh, you made a mistake, George. You put your shoes on the wrong side. That's not good. You'll fall down, or somebody will make fun of you, or something like that." We'll have that kind of comment, which is normal and really not. It's not horrific, but a better way of saying that is go, "Oops, you made a da." Da. You made a da. It's kind of funny, like, "Oops, you made a da." I don't say I'm sorry. I just say, "Oops, I made a da." It's a da. It's only a da, Asha. It's only a da. So it makes it's levity rather than condemning someone for making a mistake. Okay, if they do something very outrageous, and there's a difference between putting your shoes on wrong and not studying for your test and failing your grade. So that has to be taken in consideration. But the levity of not controlling a kid, micromanaging them, because the kids will show you how they want to be raised.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not talking about the morals of stealing and respect for people, etc. We all know that. But I'm talking about the micromanagement of, you can't wear that color with that color kind of situations. Like my daughter never wore a pair of socks that matched because it wasn't cool. So, things of that nature that we can make fun with rather than the judging. And I think our parents need that. Now, one thing I want to discuss is when it seems that when a parent has a child, they have all these guilt situations happening that they never felt before in their life. It's kind of very strangely interesting, annoying. And I believe that the reason for that is that our own childhood comes up for us to revisit. And we're on a fast track of evolution. And God wants us to, heal ourselves as much as we can. And that our child gives us the impetus to do that. It's like we're all on a treadmill without an off button. We keep on evolving. We're evolving. We will never stop evolving. And so we are on a fast track to evolution when we start having children, because we examine our life and want to live it differently. And that's where all the guilt comes from. Now,
Child.
it's important to know that the guilt that you may feel today, like you should have done this, or you should have moved here, or you should have done that, is not really the guilt that is happening. It's the guilt that happened when you were a kid or a teenager or a young adult. Guilt builds on itself. One shame guiltful experience builds on another shame guilt experience on another. So when you hit 35, 40, you got a lot of hunks of shame guilt. And the fact that one more comes in doesn't mean that that is wrong. It's just that it's the straw that broke the camel's back. So I hope that helps to realize that it isn't that you're doing something wrong. It's just that that particular extra piece of shame, guilt was brought it down. But it was because you have 3-year-old, 4-year-old. We all had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 100 times of shame guilt going on us, and it doesn't disappear unless we actively get rid of it. And that's what I do. I help people release the shame guilt they got when you were 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. And it's shame only has one defect. It dissolves in detection. So once we find it, we release it because it's not of us. It doesn't serve us. It's an outside energy.
Okay.
So most people, I myself, feel hopeful to know that I don't need shame guilt. It's part of the culture that I received, and I can find it and get rid of it. I don't need it to become more human. I don't need it to be more moral. I'm good to begin with. And on my website, I have different things that can help in this process. But just the fact alone, knowing that it's an energy, it's not an emotion. Now, why do you say we get all upset and we get depressed and anxious if we feel shame guilt? It's because that's a secondary emotion. Shame guilt activates that emotion. So you don't talk to shame guilt. You talk to depression. Hi, depression. How are you? What do you want to talk to me about? We identify in my classes. I teach people how to talk to them emotions. We don't talk to shame guilt because it doesn't belong to us. We just put it on the side and knowing that it's not part of us. And so when people get into that whirlwind down spiral, know that, okay, that's over there. That's not who I am. Who am I? And this is way different than what our culture tells us to do.
Yeah. Lois, what about the parents when they need to maybe have a borders with the kids, limits with the kids, and they feel maybe shame or they feel guilt because maybe they doesn't have the time to spend with them or they are busy with the work or for different situations. What about these parents? How they can do what
Okay,
they know how what they can do to stop
okay.
with this.
First of all, turn your focus. Shame, guilt is an energy. If you can just see a computer and see how the energy goes in the computer and makes it go bad, it just is the problem. Shame, guilt is the problem. And you go, okay, I am not that, but what else do I feel? Oh, I feel depressed. Okay, then we can work on the depression. Say, hi, depression, how are you? What do you want to tell me? So we'll never get anywhere feeling more guilty. What I want to do is help people stop going down the down spiral of shame guilt. It will only take you to the dungeon. And perhaps in your community, since it's quite communal, I have shame guilt buddies, like you and I could be buddies. Like, oh, I felt really this today. And you go, oh, well, that was shame. Oh, I didn't know that. It helps us realize our behavior and say, oh, no, remember, shame guilt doesn't belong to us. How do you feel? Well, I feel anxious. Okay, let's talk about being anxious. We're not talking about being shamed, or we're not talking about that. We're talking about the other emotions of our body. But we're so conditioned to feel that way that it's difficult to break the cycle. And that's why it helps to have somebody else talk with us about it, say, oh, you're right, I forgot. We're going to forget because I've been at this for like 15 years, and I was on a podcast like last week, and I said, oh, my shame. I went, oh my God. That's what I tell people. Never say my shame. It's the shame. I don't own shame guilt. Do you see how tricky it is? It's not my shame. So the host had to correct me. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? But
Hmm.
our culture is so, we're so indulged in it. And if at some point you wanted to do something like that on a Zoom with your parents, I would be willing to work with that two or three people to help see what I'm saying, because it's very different what I'm doing, but it's fabulous when it works. I've had people come to me who had 4 years of therapy, 10 years of therapy, and I talk with them like I'm speaking with you, and within another hour or two, they're okay. Because we don't have mental illnesses. We just don't have the information of what I'm talking about. And you'll never fix guilt. You'll never get rid of guilt. Never, ever, unless you get rid of the shame causing the guilt. Okay. So people get very guilty because they try all these courses and all these therapies to get rid of guilt, and that doesn't work. And they feel, oh my goodness, I'm really bad. I can't even get rid of this guilt. And I'm telling you, you're not going to get rid of it unless you get rid of the shame. And that's what I help people do. I help them find the shame when they were a kid that caused the guilt, and then they don't have that guilt. We have many kinds of guilt, but the more we can get rid of, the healthier we become. And just knowing that shame guilt is not of us, it doesn't belong to us. We have been used, it has been used upon our culture to keep us in control. Keep us, this is what you eat, this is what you do, this is what you wear, this is where you go to school, etc. And I think you understand what I mean on that. And you got to raise your kids this way, and you got to do it this way, and
What about these parents? I think I know that the this situation you need to manage it the same in the same way, no? To stop fears, to shame and guilt in every situation. But what about these parents? Like that they feel bad when the kids have want a special behavior, you
when
know?
when they want special.
Behavior that they are
Oh,
maybe
it's bad.
crying for
Yeah,
everything they
yeah, yes.
and
It's a
sometimes the parents and also the mothers can feel like, oh my god,
yeah,
I
but
can't
it's but
do it.
okay. This is what, like, sometimes they'll react, crazy because you didn't give them what they want, and they'll have a temper tantrum and all. That's their behavior. I mean, it's just they're having a meltdown. It's not your fault. It's like, that's interesting. I've had every parent has had a kid having a temper tantrum. And, but parent has to remember that the reason they feel the incredible guilt for what did you do wrong is because of what they've carried from 1, 2-year-old, 3-year-old yourself. You've carried all this guilt along your life, and now you're getting more guilt. But it's not because of the immediate experience, it's because of what has happened before that. Does can I did that mind make that clear?
Yes, I think that you try to. What do you mean? Is like is the thing that we have in our background or with
And
us.
in your background, like,
Yeah.
if
When I was child, or all this
when
situation
I
with
was a
my
child,
parents. Yeah.
I had a parent that I worked with, um, and we did work. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, they called me and they said, I had a realization. I said, oh, what was that? When my client said when he was a second
Child.
grader,
Mhm.
6 years old or something, he was misbehaving in school. Like, okay, I mean, pull a girl's hair or something, or not do their, something annoying, not horrible. They put them in a straitjacket, tied them up in a straight like they do with mentally ill people. How horrible is that? And he sat there all day like that. I mean, how shameful is that? And how wrong was that? And when his kid had misbehaved, like temper tantrum or something, he did not consciously know that, but that guilt and shame that he received by being so mistreated spurred him to feel so badly about his child and try to give him all this candy and other stuff to make it feel better, because he had to feel better. So my work helps people to relieve the background shame guilt that people have received, so that they don't overreact to a shame guilt experience that's in their present. Okay? And even if you can't do that yet, at least you know that the present experience doesn't warrant the amount of guilt you're doing.
Okay.
This is such a large topic that I want to be able to give people at least one or two things to take home to help them have hope and don't go down the guilt track. Because we all do. But it's not helpful at all for anyone or the child.
Yes. Is one mother, she say, thank you, Christina. She say, great talk. It's a very interesting point of view.
Yes, and that's what, if I can just offer a different point of view, which really is the truth, but if our powers to be, government, religion, society, did not use the power of shame and guilt, they don't want us to know what their secret weapon is. And that's what I don't care. we got to get rid of shame and guilt, because it's really not helping us to evolve and become better parents, become better people. We're victims. We can't live as victims. And I think your community is very non-victim, because they're taking a stand. They want to do self. And that's very, very good. We cannot be victims of shame, guilt. But it's interesting to note that we as humans only have one obstacle. It's shame, guilt. That's our only problem we have. Now, how do you defeat a problem?
Yes. What is the problem?
You defeat them by learning everything you can about them. Like if somebody is your enemy, you learn what they are so you can avoid them, right? So that's why I teach. I teach people what shame guilt is, because that's your enemy. And the more you know about your enemy, the more you can avoid it. Duh. I mean, it's just logic.
Yes.
And we have not been able to learn that because nobody is teaching it. So I have to be on a lot of podcasts. And thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And I think it's very important, like Christina said, and I say it's so important the parents can't listen. You know, it's no the fault of them when the kids are crying, when situation happening it happens, sorry, are happened, and also if the kid is sick, o sea, anything, because I want to say again, parents are, you are doing one amazing job. You are working very hard with your kids, and it's amazing. It's amazing. And I sometimes it's necessary to repeat or to they remember. No, it's important
Yeah.
what they
But hearing it doesn't fix it. It helps, but the true way to not feel that overwhelming guilt is to get rid of the shame guilt from your background.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Think of, if you're cooking and you keep adding batter to the bowl, what happens? It explodes after a while. So
Yeah.
it's important to do it's simple work that you remove the shame guilt you received as a kid, as a teenager, and you have continued to use it. Self-blame is very important. Now, I have one thing that may help. I was very abused as a child, so I carried a lot of shame and guilt. So when I finally understood what it happened and so forth and so on, I wanted to say positive things to myself. But a positive affirmation that you say to yourself is 1,000 times more effective than hearing a positive tape or someone else telling you. When you say it in your own voice, it's different. It's more healing. So if I made, if I have dyslexia, so I would get lost a lot. So when I didn't get lost or lost only one or two times, I would say, I did good. I did good. I found the house right away. Or I did really good in making spaghetti. Or I only burnt the garlic bread 2 times this week. You can turn anything positive. And I would say that to myself all the time, like I did good. Now, for me, I did good works for me. Some people could use another sentence that works for them. Everyone is different because we all have different backgrounds. But I did that, I mean, like, I don't know, a zillion times a day, no matter what I did or didn't do. Like, I only forgot 2 tasks to do today. Even if I did something wrong, I did good because I fixed it or only did. You understand what I'm saying? So I try to make everything I did good because every negative thought you give yourself or every negative expression that someone gives you, you need 3 times the positive to overcome it. So you really need to compliment yourself. I did really good. My kid Johnny had a temper tantrum and I didn't interrupt him for 2 minutes. I did good. I interrupted him later, but I waited 2 minutes. I did good because he got to school without 2 temper tantrums. He only had one. I did good. So that's one thing that you can do that's going to offset the negative guilt that all of us give ourselves. So instead of saying I did wrong, say I did good, or I'm a good person, or I'm so smart, or whatever works for you. How does that feel?
Yes, the last weekend, I have one guest, a little girl. She is a little girl with one special condition. She born with one special condition, and she was saying like always you need to take the good things from the bad things. Or the things, I don't know if you take always the good things and always repeat these good things. And I say, wow,
Exactly. Very
it's
smart. Very
yes.
smart.
He is only 11 years old with this special condition. And also, to me, was amazing the story of her. And yes, was very nice to hear and how she is sharing the love and a life and full of
Mm-hmm.
life, and it was so
Yeah.
pretty.
Now, all the positive affirmations that we give ourselves helps. It helps. Now, it doesn't heal because we still have to go back to the background and pick out the shame that we got and get rid of it. We still have to do our emotional work. Okay. But it's definitely a big help and it can get us out of situations instead of going all the way down to the guilt hole. I call it the guilt hole. Now, I I felt so guilty and so depressed. I was even suicidal. So I took the positive stuff one step further. In the old days, we had little cassette tapes, not the DVDs or things that we have nowadays. I'm talking 40 years ago. So I talked into a microphone and recorded my voice. Like I did good in this, or I took care of my kids good, I did this, or I was talking to myself of what good things I did. And then it was like 5 minutes. And then I ran the tape again to get 10 minutes, then 15 minutes. So for like 15 minutes, I had my voice telling me how great I am. And then I would plug it in my ears and listen to it while I was doing the dishes, scrubbing the floor, doing the laundry. And instead of thinking all the bad things I didn't do, I was hearing myself talk to myself.
Yes.
That was really good. That really helped.
Really good. And now I also I am wondering also the parents can use this with the kids. O sea,
Yeah,
imagine if you repeat always, always. I know sometimes kids make a messy or the chaos in the house or this, but repeat then. You are the best kid. You
you
are
could say
the
you
most
did. I always say, wow, you did such a great mess. It's like tumultuous, like the whole house is messed up. You did good. You did really good.
Maybe also the kid is,
Huh? Huh? You did
yeah.
so good. You messed up the whole living room. Wow. Awesome.
Yes, and
But 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 I can't walk in the room, so we got to clean it up. You got to clean it up. But you did really good. You did a good job. As I tell the kids, you did a great job. Awesome. Because
yes,
it's fun. You just twist it like the girl was twisting it around. It did a great job, sweetheart. You messed up the whole house. It's awesome. And you're not being sarcastic. It's just kind of funny. And another thing, my one of the Montessori teachers taught me this with my children. Never say the word don't or no in a way because they don't hear it. Like, don't fall on your bike because they don't hear the don't. They only hear fall on your bike. Our brain plays tricks on us. So it's better to say be safe or enjoy your bike ride rather than saying don't fall because it sends a negative thought to them. I thought that was really interesting.
yes, interesting to know
Be
this.
be be, be safe. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Um, watch for the cars or something, but don't use the word don't. No, because that sets up. You understand what I'm saying? But there's simple things we can use every day.
Yes. But and I again I say don't forget parents to say always beautiful words at your kids always in every moment and in every
Well,
situation.
and I think your parents do. It's just that the guilt of parenting is 99% of parents feel guilt. Mother guilt is the highest guilt in the world. Okay. Now, the reason for that is twofold. We're carrying the background of our own lives and placing it in the present moment. And the harder your background was, the more guilt you're going to feel. And also, you're in like a supercharged evolution because you want to be better at parenting your kids than you had. So we try to make ourselves perfect, which makes it even worse. So it's the situation at the present is not as formidable as you feel it is because of what happened before. And there is a
Yes.
way to release the shame guilt that we have received during our lifetimes. And I'm good. That really helped me out. I think I did that for like almost a year and a half. I did good. I did good. I did so good. I'm awesome. But I needed the positive words from myself.
It's very important this word, and it's very important that we always state like to. Yes, I try to always have in my mouth positive word to
Mhm.
see the beautiful in everything. O sea, I am always I am trying to do this, no? They see the beautiful and the good in
Yes,
every
and that's
situation.
important. That's
Yeah,
so important.
sometimes
How, yeah. However, we have to worry, we have to be concerned with not being 100% positive because that's toxicity. We have to realize that the negative does exist and we have to remove that from our lives, those negative situations, which we can do because we can, we don't want to cover it up. We just want to cancel out the negative that's in our present life. And in today's world, it's crazy, with all the everything going on. I don't even want to go into all of that. So we just have to say our prayers. I don't, we pray to God and, we, know that that's important. And I have much hope for the world. But we have to fix ourselves too.
yes,
And
I
our
think
kid, we
also
go ahead. We
no,
need to
sorry.
compliment the complimenting and not being foolish because the kids are smart today. They understand. They understand. Mom, I didn't do good. I said, well, you made a great mess. You made a good mess of everything. You got a different way of looking at it. I mean, you make fun things and like, oops, I put my shoes on wrong. Oh well. So that helps kids to laugh. I mean, I was
Yes.
driving. My grandsons live in different states, so I was driving the car and I missed the house because I'm not used to that particular neighborhood. And the kids were laughing in the car. They said, Asha did a da, she missed the house. And they were all laughing because I did a da da. They didn't think that they didn't condemn like, oh, you didn't find the house. That's awful. No, they were laughing because she did a da da.
I know. Kids, kids. Okay. And what do now with all this I know that this 45, 50 minutes is not all the time. You can maybe speak about all this topic, but if in three points or in three words, can you maybe say something about this in three words or in three paragraphs that you say, look, this.
Okay. Live, love, and enjoy.
Okay, this
Live,
is
love, and enjoy.
beautiful. Yes.
Because we are beautiful human beings. And we got a computer virus called shame guilt that's messing up our lives. And we got to kick it out of our lives. It doesn't belong to us.
Yes. Lois, and where the parents can contact you.
LoisHollis.com. LoisHollis.com. I give a free ebook called
Okay.
500 Questions Have One Answer. And that teaches us how shame guilt behavior can be used 5 different ways.
Very nice. Yes.
So learn your enemy. We only have one enemy. It's not your grandmother, your father, who raised you, your culture, your government, your religion. It's only shame guilt. Everything in your life that's negative, you can bring it back to shame guilt. Isn't that interesting? And nobody talks about it.
Hmm. Yes, it's true.
It's amazing. I find it absolutely amazing. So
Yes. Yes. Actually, when we finish our conversation, our talk, I will write all your contact information above, and the parents can also check your website, your Facebook, and your
yeah,
Facebook group, and all your information.
yeah. And they can email me since it's cross country. Lois Lois 3
Okay.
Hollis at Gmail. And I
Okay.
answer my emails and I do a lot of sessions through email too. So talk to me. I don't know what you need unless you talk. And I'm used to talking about shaming because that's all I do.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, and thank you so much again
Thank you.
for
Mhm.
joining this night in Tuesday with the expert. I hope that maybe we can see
We
you
can
next
come back
time.
again. Mhm.
Yes,
Sure.
next time because we will start soon with our podcast. Well, and we can
Yeah,
have
because it's a big
another
topic.
session. Yes,
And people can email you questions and I can answer them on the podcast. And I love questions. It's
yeah,
very important. Shame guilt does not survive in exposure.
yeah,
So once we expose it within yourself, it goes away.
yes.
Isn't that interesting? Okay, bless you. Bless
Thank you
you.
so much. And I
Bless
will
you.
say also thank you so much to the parents who joined this night. And I will say thank you so much. Also, thank you so much to be part of this your group, Expat Kids in Eindhoven. And remember, everything I am doing and working is for you to have a beautiful guest, to have a professionals in different areas for answer and help in this journey to the parenthood, no, the parenting. And thank you, and see you next
Next time.
Tuesday. Yes,
Next time.
next time with Lloyd, but also see you next Thursday with our next Thursday with the expert. This Saturday, I will also share one activity for you that you can do easy with your kids at home. And Sunday is time to hang out in Expat Kitty Night Doven, and I will share also other place, 5 recommendations to place where you can order food. So stay tuned and see you. Bye guys. I am still working in the website. I will make very, very nice website for you. Bye.